Start the recording. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Wednesday, August 8th, 2012. Going to go over all the trades that we took in the live trading room this morning, the trades we didn't take and all that stuff. But before we get going, let me just give you the results. We are plus 16 ticks on the ES and minus 8 ticks on the YM. Those are the trades that we took. It was actually 3 trades that we took to get there, and I will go over that with you in just a minute. Now, if you have not taken a free trial with us, go to www.cfrn.net/apply. That's www.cf like Frank RN like Nancy .net/apply. Sign up for the free trial. In the free trial, you get 5 days in our live trading room, 5 business days in our live trading room. 2 hours per day. You also get access to all the indicators that you see in front of you, or all the indicators that we have to offer. They can be downloaded from the indicator store through DT Pro. You get a trial with DT Pro as well, and you get to experience everything with us. Hopefully you'll be able to learn the trade setups for the most part in that week trial, and if not, we will certainly help you. If you become a partner, we'll certainly stick with you and make sure you do learn the trade setups in the following 3 months, we'll say, or the following week or 2 that it usually takes, but we'll say 3 months. Anyway, www.cfrn.net/apply. If you are taking a free trial with us right now, we have a partners meeting tomorrow night. You need to be a partner to get into that. You should have a link from me right now in your email with the offer, the existing offer that is out there for you, the current offer that is out there for you. Take a look into your email and see if it's in there. If you have read it and you have any questions about it, give me a call. My phone number is in that email. All right. If you have read it and you have any questions, did I just say that? Give me a call. Anyway, moving on. The trades that we took. You need to be a partner to get into the partners meeting tomorrow night. And a reminder for all the partners, there is a partners meeting tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, as it is every week. All right. Now the trades we took. Let me show you on the ES. This morning when the markets opened up, there was a bullish cross right here. This is the MA1, this blue and red line. Crossed up over the BBC, which is the green line right here. We had a bullish cross, pull back down, tested the BBC. That's where I got long this morning. I got long right in there. All right, looking down here, the 20 was within the envelope. Looked pretty good. I got long there, and I took 2 points profit up here. Okay, I drew this trend line in, and I said as soon as we close above that trend line, it should open the door to higher prices. And sure enough, it opened the door. All right. The next trade that I took was over here. Now, I hadn't drawn this trend line in until after the trade, until after it had closed up over here. But it pulled back down here, and I got long over here. Now, we had a deep drawdown. It drew almost down to my stop here. My stop was at 93 even. Was it 93 even? It drew down within a couple of ticks of my stop. Once it did close up above that trend line that I drew on there, I could have drawn the trend line right here. When I got in the trade, I don't remember if I did, but I don't think I drew it until it was back here a little ways. Maybe even over here. But anyway, I could have drawn the trend line after this bar closed and said when it gets on the other side of that trend line, that should open the door to higher prices. I can do a trend line for us right here, right now on this move. This is the trend line. So if we close up above this trend line, that should open the door to higher prices. Now, the higher prices above here, I had said in the live trading room this morning that when we got into this trade, not this trade, but the second trade, I think. Yeah, when we got into the second trade, I was going to look for 1396 and a quarter is what I was looking for. 1396 and a quarter. And I said once I got up there, I was going to move my stop up to break even. And once it did, I did move my stop to break even. And then I was looking for 2 points profit after that. So I did take the 2 points there. I also said that once we closed up above that trend line, it would open the door to higher prices, which it did do. I was suggesting that the level that we should look for once we broke 1365 and a quarter, that the level we should look for is 1396 and a quarter. What we should look for after that was 1398 and a quarter, and what we should look for after that was 1400. So we did the 1398 and a quarter in pretty short time. All right, after we broke the 1396 and a quarter, we did 1398 and a quarter, and then we went right up to the 1400 level. And that's kind of where it's sitting right now. All right. If we do close above this trend line, it would open the door for higher prices. However, if we don't, then looking over here at the YM, you can see that once again we struck the weekly trading zone right here, and we've been rejected by it. Okay, this is a 500 contract YM chart. That suggests that we could be moving down. The last time it did this, let's take a look here, all the way back to yesterday. It hit the weekly trading zone up here, and let's just go from the zone at 13,150. It dropped off the zone all the way down 100 points, 104 points, all the way down here. Okay, it made that trek all the way back up, but now on a larger time frame, you are looking at a lower top right there. I don't know if you can see that with the trend line, but it's a lower top. So it could be topping out right here and moving down. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Okay. You can see also here the one trade that we took on the YM. What we were looking for here was a follow-up trade to this one. I missed this trade in the live trading room this morning, but when we had the bullish cross here, price came back down, tested the BBC. This was first thing in the morning. It tested the BBC and then it moved up. It attempted to do it here, but it didn't actually get there. It did do it again right here. Now, the thing worth noting on this is, one, that it's a 500 contract, and two, that the 20 line over here, this horizontal 20 line, is in the envelope on the DMT. Now, research has shown that that gives a much higher probability of a bounce from the BBC. Okay, it gives a much higher probability of a bounce from the BBC. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I was just reading through the questions there. It did get a nice bounce there. The next one right here, and I was going on about what George, one of our partners, had said in the live trading, in the live trading room this morning. I only used an 8-tick stop. He uses a 20-tick stop. You needed a 16-tick stop on this trade right here. It tested the BBC again. I entered at 13,110, and I stopped out at 13,102. He entered at 13,110, and his risk was down here at 13,090. My risk was right up here, so I stopped out. He stayed in the trade for a 20-tick profit. He was using a 20-tick bracket. Okay, I was using an 8x20. Anyway, you see when it pulled back to the BBC again, the 20 was in the middle of the envelope. Okay, so it pulled back, tested the BBC, and then it moved up another 20 ticks. In this case here, it pulled back, tested the BBC from 13,101, and it moved up to 13,124. Over here, if you go back and look at all these things where it goes back and tests the BBC, there's a much higher probability on this 500 contract YM if the 20, the horizontal line down here on the DMT, is in between the envelope. All right, just something to consider. I didn't take any trades on the NQ this morning. The NQ was very choppy all morning. It's one of those odd mornings where I didn't take a single trade on the NQ. It started off very choppy like this, and then it pulled way up. It started to come back here, and you see I drew in the arrows because we had the divergence. Unfortunately, it didn't slow down at the BBC. It went right through it, so we didn't have any trades. We had divergence again, and there was a trade opportunity in here, a momentum trade that I showed to the partners in the partners meeting last week. I'll cover it again tomorrow. There was an opportunity to get short in there, and that was pretty much all there was on the on the NQ, were these momentum trade opportunities. You could have gotten short there, long there, see, long there, and that's pretty much all there was today on the NQ. It was a really odd trading day on the NQ with these the way that it's acted. I mean, you can see right here it's been really flat for the last hour and 15 minutes. It was pretty flat in here as well. And in here it was just choppy enough to really give you a problem had you been trading it. Alright, but we didn't trade it at all because we just didn't have the setups. That was the NQ. Now the crude oil. Let me bring the crude in. On the crude, there were some opportunities. I took a long here, and I ended up getting out at break even on the long trade, so I did take a crude trade this morning. But I hadn't been watching it too closely prior to the crude inventories, which came out this morning. The crude inventory showed a bigger draw than anticipated, which means prices should go up. The initial impact was a little bit of a movement up, then a movement down, and then a movement up and back down. So, you know, it's been all over the place today. But the way that you trade the 4-tick range on the crude is the way you trade any other 4-tick range chart. You look for your bearish cross, you pull back up, test to the BBC with a down close when you have divergence on the slingshot. Okay, there's opportunities right in here. All these circles were opportunities to get short. The rectangles or the squares were opportunities to take momentum trades. All right, that's pretty much it. The circles are trend trades. The rectangles are momentum trades. All right, you could have gotten short in there, and I'm sure they're not all inclusive. There were probably more than what I've shown, but you could have gotten short in there, long in there, long there, long there. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it on the morning, guys. There wasn't all that much to go over this morning because the markets, the last couple of days, the markets have been kind of flat. And for what it's worth, there's not a lot of news out this week. You know, there's a little bit more tomorrow than there was today. Today we had crude inventories for the most part. That was pretty much it. But that's where it stands. We ended the morning plus 16 ticks on the YM and minus 8 I'm sorry, plus 16 ticks on the ES and minus 8 ticks on the YM. Okay. All right. If anybody has any questions about any of this, you can email support@cfrn.net. If you're taking a free trial with us at the moment, check your inbox, check your emails. You should have an offer from us in your inbox to become a partner, so you can get into that partners meeting tomorrow night. All right. That is it. I'm going to wrap up the recording here.